Hello everyone, welcome back to Think Lab by Saurabh. So in today's video, we are going to learn one of the most important topic in Retrieval-Augmented Generation, also known as RAG. So if your RAG system give the wrong answer, an irrelevant result or hallucinates, so the problem is often not the large language model. The real problem is usually how you split your document. So this process is called chunking, right? So choose the right chunking strategy can improve your relevant quality and your answer accuracy. So today we will understand the 7 popular chunking strategy used in modern AI system. So let's begin. So what is the chunking? That is the first question. So imagine you have a 500-page book and you cannot send the entire book to an LLM. So every time someone asks the questions, so instead of dividing the book into the smaller pieces, so these smaller pieces are called the chunk. So when a user asks the question, so the vector database search this chunk, right? So this most relevant chunks are the retrieved, right? So the finally the LLM generate an answer using those retrieved chunks, right? So this why chunking is the foundation of the every RAG system. So better chunking leads to better retrievals lead to better answer, right? And the better answer reduce the hallucination. So now let's explore the 7 strategy for the better chunking, right? So it's strategy 1, fixed size chunking. So first strategy is the fixed size chunking. So this is the simplest method. Here every document is divided into the equal size of chunks. For example, every chunks may be contain 500 tokens. So advantage is the advantage is very simplicity, right? It is very fast to implement, and it is also very fast, right? So however, there is one major disadvantage. So a sentence or paragraph may be cut into the middle, right? So important context can be lost. So as the result the retrieval quality may decrease. So this strategy is best for the rapid prototyping, right, and the small project, right? Now we are moving to the strategy 2, the recursive chunking. The second strategy is the recursive chunking. So this method follow the natural structure of a document. So it's first check the heading, then paragraph, then sentence, and finally words if needed, right? So instead of cutting randomly, it's preserve the document hierarchy. So this keep the relevant information together and makes the retrieval much more accurate. So recursive chunking is the widely used for the blogs, documentation, and the articles. So many modern RAG frameworks support this strategy for by default, right? So now we are moving to the strategy 3, right? So that is we called a structure based chunking. So this third strategy supports based that is the structure based chunking, right? So this strategy understand the layout of document. For example, markdown file having the headings, html has a tag, pdf have a some section. So programming code has a function and classes. So instead of ignoring this structure, the chunker use it, right? So logical boundary remains intact, right? So this improve the search quality and the readability. So it's work especially well for API, technical documentation, and research paper and the source code, right? The next one is the strategy 4, semantic chunking. So now let's discuss the semantic chunking. So this is the one of the smartest approach, right? So instead of counting the word or token, it's look at the meaning. The system create the embedding for the next text, right? So whenever topic change, a new chunk is created. So this means every chunks contain the information about the single concept. The semantic coherence become very high. So as the result, retrieval quality improves in a very significant way. So semantic chunk is the commonly used in the research, legal document, medical document, or scientific literature, or some kind of important research document. So the trade-off is computational cost, right? So generating embeddings takes more time than the simple splitting, right? Now we are moving to the next strategy 5, sliding window chunking. So the fifth strategy is sliding window chunking. So in this approach, the neighboring chunks overlap. For example, chunk A may share its last 100 tokens with the chunk B, right? So this overlap, preserve the context across the chunks boundary. So if important information appear near the end of one chunks, it's also available in the next chunk. So this greatly improved the long context understanding. So it is especially used for the conversation meeting transcript, right? And enterprise labor rack system. So the window is increased storage because this overlapping text store multiple times, right? So the next one is strategy sixth, parent child chunking. The sixth strategy is the parent child chunking. So this is a two level retrieval approach. First, a large parent document is created, then it's divided into the many smaller child chunks. So during retrieval, the vector database search only the child chunks. So only the best child chunk is found. The entire parent's document is returned to the LLM, right? So this provides the both precision and rich context. So the search remain accurate. So at the same time, the model received the enough surrounding information to generate the better answer. So this strategy is widely used for the enterprise knowledge base, right? So the next one is the strategy 7, agentic or adaptive chunking. So finally we have agentic or adaptive chunking. So this is the most advanced strategy. So instead of using only one chunking method, AI choose the best strategy automatically. Sometimes it's use the recursive chunking, sometimes semantic chunking, sometimes structure aware chunking, sometimes sliding window chunking. So the decision depend on the document type and the user query. So this adaptive approach delivers the highest retrieval quality, and it's becoming the standard for the production AI agent and large scale enterprise rack system. So many next generation AI platform are moving towards the adaptive chunking. So which strategy should be you choose? So if you need a quick prototype, so use the fixed size chunking. For the blogging and document, choose the recursive chunking. For technical document, use the structure-based chunking. For maximum accuracy, choose the semantic chunking. For a long conversation slide, you can choose the slide window is a excellent choice. For the enterprise knowledge base, parent-child chunking works very well. And if you are building the production AI system, so agentic and adaptive chunking is the future. So we are going to summarize this video. So final summary is, let's quickly recap it. Fixed chunking is simple and fast, right? And the recursive chunking, and the recursive chunking preserve the document hierarchy. Structure based chunking follow the document layout. Semantic chunking understand the meaning. Sliding window chunking are preserve the context. Parent child chunking combine the precision with the rich context. Agentic chunking intelligently select the best strategy automatically. So remember this simple formula: better chunking leads to better retrieval leads to better answer, and the better answer, it means fewer hallucination. So if you found this video helpful, please like and share and subscribe the Think Lab by Saurabh, and follow the Think Lab by Saurabh for more practical AI, GenAI, machine learning, and the data science content. So thank you for watching. See you in the next video.